Guest on the 75th birthday of the Prime Minister. We've been speaking to some of the most illustrious people in the country. We spoke to Harish Salve yesterday, and today I have with me Ashwini Vaishnaw. Now, what makes Ashwini Vaishnaw truly special is that the Prime Minister has chosen him for some of the most important tasks, whether that be IT, whether that be semiconductors, whether that be Vande Bharat, whether that be the face of developed India, the Chenab rail bridge, to Atal Tunnel, to Atal Setu. There are so many transformative ideas that Ashwini Vaishnaw is pushing. So, Mr. Vaishnaw, thanks for doing this. I've always enjoyed getting your insights about the Prime Minister.
Thank you.
How are things in the third term? How are things going? How does the Prime Minister start working as early, end as late? What is his working style? Do you see any change in the third term? What more insights can you share personally about his working style in his third term, sir?
Arnab, we know that our Prime Minister has been working relentlessly for building our nation, for transforming our society, for making sure that the common citizens get the best possible things in their lives. Relentlessly has been working for decades now, and in the historic third term, again and again his focus is on working much harder, doing much more, and it's phenomenal. Our Prime Minister has given us a totally new way of thinking in this country. Politics used to be politics for persons, politics for society in the sense that one's own caste, or politics of one narrow region. Prime Minister transformed that into politics of performance, and he has made politics as a medium for serving the people. It's a very different way of thinking. Since 1947, Arnab, we have had so many prime ministers. Did any prime minister give us the goal of making a country a developed country by 2047? I mean,
impossible.
With a timeline?
None. Nobody thought so far.
First time we have got this kind of, correct. And first time we have got a leadership. We have got a leader who's thinking ahead, who's driving everybody. Like in math, if all the vectors work in the same direction, then the goal gets achieved. So he's getting all the sectors, all departments, all parts of the society, all sections of the society to work in that single direction of making our country a developed country.
So, on semiconductors, I'm very curious to know that what are the hard targets that he's been setting, and what is his vision, especially for the semiconductor industry in the context of the renewed thrust of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Can you share something that he's working towards, you and he are working towards? What's your next goal? How closely does he monitor your progress?
Our Prime Minister is a very detail-oriented person. So when we first went with the semiconductor program, where we were discussing setting up a fab and setting up ATMP units, he gave us the vision that yes, we must manufacture chips, but we must also manufacture the machines which are used to manufacture chips. And we must also make the materials which are used in manufacturing chips. It's a very, very, very big vision that he has given us. And as always, he is very detail-oriented. He is very intent listener. I've been in corporate life. I've been a bureaucrat. I've also been an entrepreneur. I've never seen a person as intent a listener as our Prime Minister is. He'll go into every detail, he'll ask questions, and if in a room there are 10 persons sitting, opinion of each and every person matters. A question asked by the junior most person will be valued, and there has to be a discussion on that, and based on that discussion some final outcome should be there. And he also mulls over items before taking a final call, and that's very important because our problems in our society are very complex and very diverse. So it's very important that our leader takes every opinion into consideration. Every person's opinion is valuable, and based on such wide and diverse and deep thinking, the final outcome comes. So that's very important for our country.
What is his interest in the details of technology? He is setting targets for deep technology. He is into the acquisition of materials. I am even told that he brings his diplomacy and geopolitics towards making sure that we have the materials, whether from African nations, other nations, we have the raw materials to make the technology happen. Now, what the nation wants to know, Mr. Vaishnaw, is does Narendra Modi get into the details of the technology as he pushes you in the area? He obviously understands the importance of deep technologies, AI, transformations, time-bound processes. But how deep does he go? Does he have a keenness on technology? Does he ask the questions? We all heard, Amitabh Kant was speaking to me a few minutes back. He said, Prime Minister is a great listener. Now, if you get into a technological subject, does the Prime Minister remain as interested?
Absolutely. He is very, very deeply interested in technology, and it's a passion for him. He's a champion of technology. Let's say in the case of semiconductors, in the recently held Semicon, he visited the Semicon twice. First for the opening session, and second when the entire exhibition was to be seen by him, and he interacted with each and every leader in such deep details, and he was able to connect to totally diverse things and give a new way of thinking. For example, one of the exhibitions, Tokyo Electron, when he listened about one particular technology, he asked me to connect some other people working in a totally different sector with this unit so that they can also get the benefit of this particular process. So that's the detail orientation he has, and that's very useful for us, because when he connects the philosophical and social dimension to technology, the result is really good.
Now, last question. You're also the Minister for Information and Broadcasting. You juggle so many important portfolios. Does he get distracted with negative noise? Does the Prime Minister get distracted with negative noise, with politics, whether that will be one day around the caste census, on other issues? Now this vote chori kind of stuff which people put out without having the courage to put an affidavit in the Supreme Court to back up their charges. Does the Prime Minister remain focused? Have you seen the Prime Minister concerned that this kind of negative noise could take away from the genuine work done, which needs to be communicated to the people? As the Minister for I&B, what would you say?
We are in a democracy, Arnab, and in a democracy, there will obviously always be very diverse views and diverse opinions. What's important is that our Prime Minister keeps the focus always on the long-term goal that we have set for our country, that he has set for himself, and that he has set for the government, and that he has set for the country as a whole. So that's very, very important, because election cycles will be there. If we have to achieve our goal of being a Vikasit Bharat by 2047, then we must have that strength inside us to think beyond the election cycles and work for goals which may not be immediately achievable, but they will set the foundation for our country's development in a very proper way. Look at this. We are if you look at the written economic history of 2000 years, out of these 2000 years, up to about 18th century, India was always among either the biggest economy or among the top two economies, always. Yeah. Always. Just for these 250, 300 years, we have lagged behind. Our Prime Minister wants to bring that prosperity, that Samruddha Bharat, that Sashakt Bharat, that Bharat whose voice is respected across the world, back to us, and that is what he is working towards. So he always remains focused on the final goal that has to be achieved.
Absolutely. The big picture. Well, Ashwini Vaishnaw, I thank you for your insight and thank you for your service to the nation in taking these important portfolios forward. Ashwini Vaishnaw there. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dada. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you. Thank you.